There we go. It hasn't announced it. Right, everybody, welcome back to the Catabolic Window podcast. This week we have Nathaniel on the podcast. He's a men's physique competitor and the owner of the newly opened Le Coach Gym 2.0 near Cambridge. So how's your week been, mate?
Yeah, it's been good. Busy in the gym every week, getting a little bit busier. It was a bit rainy this week, so weirdly, when it rains, there's a lot less people coming. Well, like day passes coming, people are less inclined to drive away to the gym. But yeah, I'm also in the middle of moving house, so I am in a very empty room. But it's been a good week. I'm actually very excited to be here. Thank you very much for inviting me.
That's all good. Yeah, I thought it'd be really interesting to get a little bit of a better idea of how the whole gym process works. I find it quite funny. You just finished moving equipment about, and now you've decided, right, I need to move my house about now.
It's been a process. It was I've been trying to move house for the last 2 years, but I've got Maple's next to me, and there's not a lot of houses owners that want dogs, so it was quite hard to find some place. But now that the gym was set up and everything, I started looking a bit harder and finally found something. So yeah,
congrats, man. Congrats.
Thanks.
On the gym and the house.
Very excited. So it's a bit further out Cambridge, but it's a nice little place.
Yeah, fair play. And how's training been recently? Because you injured your shoulder a little while ago.
Yeah, so like you said, I've been competing. I competed nearly 8 years in a row. I started competing in Canada, so I did my uni in Canada, and I did my first year of NPC Canada, which is Natural Physique Canada, very different to the US. Did really well as a natural men's physique. I think my best placing was top 5 UKDFBA finals, maybe 3 years ago. And unfortunately, a couple of weeks after that, I tore my right bicep labrum, which was quite a complicated surgery and quite a complicated rehab process, which all in all took me out for nearly 2 years. And then the gym happened, building the gym, and then moving the gym. So we're now back in a position where the gym's running. I can finally train again. Unfortunately, I'm not going to compete in UKDFBA anymore. I made the swap. I made the switch. I'm on the dark side. So you will not see me in those natural shows anymore. But really excited about the next year, both for the gym, the growth of the gym, and for me coming back on stage, competing as a men's physique, probably PCA, I would say. But yeah, it's incredible to train in my own gym. Been dreaming about it for a very, very, very long time. And it's shaping up as I imagined. Less of a old school, bodybuilding gym that's quite, old school. Let's just say old school.
Yeah.
And more like a fitness facility, a bit like MI40 in America, which is like a big fitness facility gym where all the pros go. And that's the kind of facility I wanted, where people come because they know what to expect. They know the kit that we have. They know they're going to have an incredible session. It's clean. It's not like one of those, dirty old school bodybuilding gym. There's carpet on the floor. It's nicely made. A lot of thought process went into this, but yeah, no, it's shaping up to be, well, you guys tell me, probably the best gym in the UK, kit wise.
Genuinely, yes. Genuinely, yes.
Yeah, Jack's only been to the first one as well, so
yeah. We spoke briefly.
Yeah. I remember. Yeah, it's a big upgrade, and it was a big upgrade. Yeah, it's about nearly 15 times the size of what we had before. We've got a leg room, functional room, posing room, showers, toilets. It's been a big process. But yeah, the upgrade is real. People enjoy a lot. It's good to see.
How did it feel on the opening day? Like when everybody's there? It was absolutely rammed. Like
it was rammed. It was rammed.
And yeah, just getting started.
I think on the open day we nearly had 150 people at once, so it was really busy. And And it still feels a little bit surreal. It's nearly like, I know this is my gym, but I don't consider it as like a proper big gym, like, you know, Ultraflex, all those more independent gym that are bigger, King's Gym, etc. And even now I go in the gym and I see it, and it feels like home. It feels like it's a nice little homey gym where everyone talks to each other. People that don't know each other just start training together. And I don't know, you've got people leaving and just stopping at the entrance and saying goodbye to everyone. It's just this kind of like family vibe that I really, really enjoy. And I think people enjoy it compared to a more aggressive bodybuilding gym, fitness facility.
Yeah,
We're
there's
more
not that almost like passive aggressiveness like going around. If
Doesn't feel
there's
competitive.
not.
Since I started, I've spoken to so many people there, and there's a really good environment where it's not like, yeah, just the whole like hardcore don't speak to me game face.
I think that's the one thing that caught me by surprise when I came to the coach of Jack and Luke for the first time, was just how community based the gym is. And it's really impressive. Like, obviously being a small gym, you're more prone to having that sort of community aspect, but I'm hoping that really does carry over to 2.0, because it's such an amazing experience compared to like this earn your rite of passage bodybuilding gym where you slowly work up the social ladder. It's just everything's all out in front of you from the get-go.
It's it's like I said, it's been a process, and it's a lot about market research and knowing where you are in the market, in the region, for what other gyms there is, or even in the UK, let's just say. And there was just nothing like this yet in the UK. Gyms like that, though, equipment-wise, the highest you could probably be. Everything handpicked, a mix of old school, new school, everything perfect condition. But at the same time, because of, I think, the price point and the type of clientele that we bring, we just don't have this kind of clickiness that most bodybuilding gym might have, and this I don't know, aggressive environment, aggressive vibe that you get in most, you know, big bodybuilding gym. We just don't get that. Even when, you know, IFBB pros come in the gym, everyone's happy to talk to everyone, and it's always a nice vibe. And I think that's also what attracts a lot of just Gen Pop that come in and they see the kit, they see it's a proper gym, but they don't feel that vibe of anxiety and of, you know, I'm not going to be in place in this gym. This is not a gym for me. Most people come in and they just understand it. They understand that this is a neutral place. The motto was always, I want to open a gym and I want my gym to be comfortable enough for my mom to go and train in the gym. If my mom isn't, you know, comfortable in my gym, it's not the type of gym I want in. And it's like that. It ended up being like that. All the rules are on the wall. And I think the gym etiquette is very high, mostly because most of our members are into their training and they understand they don't want to arrive on a machine and have 7 plates on it or whatever it is. And, you know, everything's where it should be. The dumbbells are on the rack. There's nothing on the floor. Yeah, I think people come and expect everything to be exactly what they're looking for, exactly where it should be, and not faff around and you know, right and left, and we can't find this and that. Yeah.
Like when I walk into the gym, I see it as full of people that want to improve, if that makes sense. It doesn't matter if you've competed a couple of times and you like really know your way around the gym, or you're looking to compete for the first time, or you've never stepped foot in a gym before. It's got that environment that would appeal to everybody, which a lot of gyms do not have, for sure.
Yeah. I agree.
I feel like, obviously I was only there once, me and John, we've only been there once, but instead of, because the only other like really big bodybuilding gym I've been to is like Ultraflex Rotherham, and when you go in there, it kind of feels like you're like pitted against each other. It's like this kind of, you feel like you're in a community, yeah, but it feels, I don't know how to describe it. It's very like everyone's kind of trying to be the best and biggest in the room. Whereas when we went into the coach, granted it was smaller, but still, and I get the vibe off of the social media as well, but it feels just like this nice community of people who, yeah, they might be, you know, competing against each other on stage, or technically they're rivals, but it just feels Like everyone's just there to progress. Like Luke said, like we're all in this together. You know, we all live this weird lifestyle together. Some more extreme than the others, and we're just here to kind of welcome.
100%, 100%. And I think even more in a gym like this, people will take a lot of their passion and the newfound passion and the newfound energy to go to the gym with the environment there is in the gym and the other people around them. I hope that makes sense. Yeah, I like you said, it's a gym where people come and know they want a change, and the only fact that they came in and they you know took a step in this kind of gym, everyone else in the gym understands it, sees it, and it's more of a welcome to the group rather than, oh, someone else that we're gonna, you know, look at. Or it doesn't, it's really not like that. Granted, there's always bad apples. There's always bad apples in a business like this, where it's client base. Although I'm quite strict on the rules, and I think compared to other gyms, I do not hesitate to cancel a membership of someone that doesn't follow the rule. I've got a strict 3-strike policy, and since opening the new gym, which is about 12 weeks ago now, I've cancelled 6 memberships. And it's not a question of being mean or not wanting the money, because I you know, it's, of course, it's a business and I need the money also, but it's more a fact of I'd rather have 200 members that are super happy rather than 210 members and those 10 people make the whole gym feel uncomfortable. And I think a lot of independent gym will disregard that and just go over it and just say, well, it's a numbers game. We need the most amount of people. For me, it's not really a numbers game. It's still a numbers game because it's a business, but it's also a place where I know I want people to want to come back. And people come back. Our conversion rate is very high. Most people in Cambridge are leaving the other gyms to come to the coach, and it feels good. It feels really good to have this kind of environment.
When you were moving from like the first gym where you cultivated that environment for a couple of years, were you worried that was almost going to run away from you, if that makes sense?
Very.
To be able to keep control of it.
Very worried. I was worried. Members were worried. So there's a lot of members that were just like, we're going to miss this place because it's a nice little tight family and we know each other and we all talk to each other, and the bigger place isn't going to be like that. And I think I've done a good job enough in the new place that it still feels like that. It's a very big place, but there's still, you know, it's still nearly one big open space, so people can talk to each other, people walk around. It kept that kind of family vibe that we were able to build in the smaller gym. And it's funny because people come for day passes and, you know, they just start chatting to other people, and then it's interactive, and they leave and they're like, I've never been to a gym where people just turn up to you and start talking to you or like spot you without asking. And it's the kind of space that we want. It's the kind of space where if someone sees you struggle and walks behind you on a machine, they're going to stop and help you. They're not just going to walk away and laugh or whatever it is. Like, people interact, and I think in the industry and how the industry is going, it's very important in gyms like this that guys like us and, you know, the 20, 30 years old generation that are coming up into their bodybuilding through the new generation and you know, scientifically based training, etc., etc. I think it's very important to have a vibe in the gym where people can just go and not stress about anything else, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I get what you mean, for sure. We can run through a couple of questions that we've like noted down and that sort of thing.
Is Luke going to bottle the question, bottle the intro again?
What do you mean? The intro was fine, bro.
How's everyone else's week's been? I know it naturally flowed onto the questions, but
I'm getting called out here.
I was going to ask,
how was your week, Dan?
Right, food poisoning, boys. Give us the rundown. What's going on?
Go on, Jack. You go first.
Me?
Yeah.
Not much. Just kind of appetite slowly building back up. Slowly getting better. We'll try and train tomorrow, see how things go. And other than that, just kind of business focused, much like our man Nathaniel here.
Dan, have you recovered?
Yeah, mostly. So I went to a festival last weekend, dropped a bit of weight from that as expected. then came back to like 1 day of training after the bank holiday. So it was already like 4 days off plan. Then 1 day of training after the bank holiday. Next day, woke up so sick, like terrible. Food poisoning, and then today is my last day like off plan. It kind of came at a good time with the wedding as well. Like I haven't really stressed about being off plan. I've just kind of gone, oh, can I eat near my calories? Because I've dropped like 3 kilos in 8 or 9 days, so it's not ideal. So I'm back in the gym tomorrow. I'm back on plan tomorrow. But yeah, mostly over. I just got pretty bad acid reflux now. It just sucks. Other than that, yeah, sound, just nothing else to do in my life.
Have you trained much or not really then?
Have I trained much?
Yeah.
No, so my last session was Wednesday last week. So like, yeah, a long time ago. I trained one session like after I got back from the festival. So maybe the Tuesday, because we had the bank holiday off. And then, yeah, I think I had dodgy chicken that night. And then Wednesday morning, had Wednesday, Thursday, Friday off work. Just, it was a nightmare. It's actually so bad. Probably the illest I've ever been.
You'll be okay.
You're a bit pale.
Oh, thanks for that.
No, he's normally that colour.
I reckon I'm a bit I might be a bit sunburned. I've been out in the sun all day. It's been a nice day. Got a barbecue.
You're calling him pale when he's sunburned.
It's not ideal being this off plan. I've got a holiday in just over a week, like a 2-week all inclusive, and I've just been this off plan. Do you know how bad this is? But I'm going back in going to the new gym next time I train, like moving officially now. So setting baseline numbers. So hopefully I'll just come back, set a bunch of baseline numbers, and I won't know how much strength I've progressed. Just ignore that bit.
I think if you came to the gym that Dan and I train at, you would like literally break down.
Nathaniel. Oh, you'd have I have fits in there. Oh my, I can't. That is why I'd love to train at a gym like the coach, because like, you mentioned Rotherham earlier, and when I went, I absolutely hated Rotherham. Like I had it pictured as like something I was absolutely love, and it just did not live up to the expectations in any way. Music was pounding too loud, like. Whereas I've been to the coach, the first one, and I loved it there. Like you said, it was quite communal. Yeah. So it's completely different.
Rotherham's good, but like you have to be like, you know, aggressive. I feel like you have to be in a state where you're like, I want to be kind of fighty with people, or like a bit kind of, you know what I mean? Whereas
you gotta want it really badly at Rotherham.
Yeah, like I think because I commuted just to go to Rotherham, just to like go see it, I was kind of already in that mindset. Whereas like when I went to the coach, I was like, I'm just training and I want to have a good session and like progress, but still see my mates as well. And it was a much nicer, and I felt like better coming out the session. I felt like I had a good session in both, but I wasn't like emotionally drained from being in Rotherham.
Yeah, it makes a big difference in my opinion. Like when you train like midday at Future, and you got all the bodybuilders that you know around that are like good build bodybuilders and less like tools in the gym. Like it just makes for such a better session. I'll leave so happy. My day will be so good. Whereas a couple bad people in the gym, like you said, Nathaniel, rather have them 10 members out the gym. They're just a nightmare. It's ruining it.
There's a lot more than 10.
Part of the reason I'm switching gym.
Right.
Yeah, you can triple that. Yeah.
John, how's your week been, bro? Deploy it.
The week's been fine. I've been sort of laying low recently. It's just I've been taking some time for myself, trying to sort out a few plans going forward. Just kind of sorting out my summer as uni's coming to the end. So I've got one exam left, which I'm shitting at, but yeah, we continue to move forward. One exam left. Like, it's not that deep. Let's be real.
You got it, bro.
And then we've got Barcelona booked soon. So little cut up until then.
The rapid fat loss.
Oh, bit of clan.
Just get poison in fine.
Just on the side.
Yeah. My exams, when do they start? Like end of this month. So I've still got a while revising. So I've just been doing that this week, and then free setups, and aside from that, business as usual.
Right, now we can go to questions. Well done, Luke.
Hey.
Redemption.
Dan just likes to take charge whenever.
No.
Hold on. Before we continue, Nathaniel, how much do you feel that Maple has contributed to the community at the coach?
I say very often that Maple is the best seller of the gym. And here's why I say that. I think having an animal like Maple, a dog like Maple, because she is quite special in the gym, but having an animal like this in the gym makes the vibe change completely. I think this aggressiveness that you were talking about in gyms like Ultraflex, where you feel like the only way is aggressive and you can't train any other way. We don't really have that. We don't, like, we have the guys that, you know, put their music on and they're aggressive and they grunt, and it's fine. It's a place for it. But I think having Maple in the gym, walk around and come and see people and, you know, petting, kissing, whatever it is, it just smoothes things down for everyone. And to be honest, the last 2 years, I probably wouldn't have survived without her. It's my first dog. It's life-changing. The dream was having my gym and a gym dog. And yeah, she's been incredible in the gym.
Yeah, I think like you...
Sorry, Dan, carry on.
I think, like you say, like Rotherham, well, you couldn't get away with putting a dog in Rotherham, like, if you get me. So I when I used to train at Grafton, sometimes I had a dog that came around, and I have this one memory of the dog jumping on me during a pet deck set. And like, you can't have it in certain gyms, whereas, well, from my memory, when I was there, the dog was just like running around on the floor, not in the way. And it was like, because it was a good vibe, you could get away with having that dog. When you got people training like tools or like a bigger dog jumping up, like, which is what it was at Grafton. Like,
she's the right size for it. And I think I've trained her a lot at the beginning. We did about probably 3 months of training, like, to be comfortable in the gym and know that she can't be, you know, under the machines or people deadlifting. She won't go on the platform. Now she's got her thing where she's like, if you're training and she sees you on the machine training, she'll sit next to you and wait. And then when you're done, she'll walk to you for cuddles. Like, she has it like locked in. She knows what to do and how to get attention. But at the same time, she's
say that she just chills there and then.
Oh yeah. She loves it. It's her little place. But at the same time, she's very safe. Like, she doesn't, you know, she won't jump on people on machines, or she won't go on the weights. Or we never had an issue like that yet. Touch wood.
I was going to say, do you remember the story you told me about when some people like tried to steal her from the gym? Because I was going to say, like, that really speaks to like the environment at the gym and how much the members care.
Yeah,
So,
let's hear it.
Yeah, she's quite a rare breed. So Maple is a quarter pit bull and a quarter. Her mum is a pit bull Chihuahua. And her dad's a pit bull. So she's like 3/4 pit bull, 1/4 Chihuahua, which is very rare. And the only reason I got her is because I'm actually allergic to dogs. Chihuahuas are hyperallergenic dogs, breeds. So you have a chance, if anything, cross Chihuahua, you have a chance not to have any reaction. And that's why I got her, and it went all good. But yeah, I got her spayed straight away. But I think she brings a lot of attention. And people see it, and yeah, we had twice people come in and try and steal her and throw her in a van and try and leave with her, which is really not cool at all. But yeah, no, she enjoys the new gym a lot more space to run around, and yeah.
Have you got like an air tag on her or anything?
Not yet. I'm planning on it. I'm planning on it. I'm planning on adding a little air tag to her and just. But yeah, she's well trained. She'll never go anywhere without me. It's like I walk around and she just follows me around. Even in the street, I barely put any like leash or anything on her. She knows the rules.
Fair play.
Fair play. I was gonna say, so obviously you started collecting kit like years and years ago. Do you remember the first piece of equipment you bought for the gym?
My God. The first piece of equipment. I'll tell you the truth. So I started buying a kit for the gym 8 years ago. That's how long it took me to hoard all this kit. 90% of it is not from the UK, because the problem with this kit is not buying it, it's finding it. It's hours and hours and hours of searching. Luckily, I'm quite international. I speak 4 languages. So for me, it was quite easy to look for machines in other places in Europe, in Italy, in Portugal, in Switzerland, and wherever. It was quite easy to just drive and get the machines because I've got this how do you say, facility or whatever it is with 4 languages. It's quite easy. The first machine I bought was probably one of the Cybex Smith machine, Mark 1. At one point during lockdown, I had 4 of them. I had 4 Cybex Mark 1 Smith machines that I picked up in a gym that was closing in south of France.
Was that just to flip them? Like, were they a good deal or something?
They were a good deal. I try always finding good deals. And I brought back these 4 Smith machines from south of France. And they were so cheap. And then during lockdown, the prices raged up.
Yeah.
And I just sold both. Like I had 4 of them. And I sold 2 of them. So yeah, over the years, there's been a lot of buying, selling, buying. I don't like this, I'm going to flip it. Finding gyms where, you know, they wanted to sell 5 machines, and out of the 5, there's only 1 you want, but you still need to buy the 5 and then resell them. So it's a lot of work. Hand picking kit like this is a tremendous amount of work. And I completely understand why most gyms don't do it. Most gyms will find the building, they'll prepare the building, and then they'll go out and buy all the kit. New or used or whatever it is, but they won't, you know, it won't be like, I want this peg deck, I want this chest press, I wanted to do that from the beginning. It was just, that was the rule. It was anything I'm going to buy is exactly the machine I want, rather than just, I want all Nautilus or Cybex or Atlantis. Because yeah, I'm really into my Cybex. Sorry?
And if you can't find it, you'll make it.
If you can't find it, you'll make it. That was thank you very much. Yes. The last 16 months, I've been working on these 2 machines that we now have in the gym, which are plate-loaded ISO row and a hip thrust. Now, I'm very technical. I like my kit, and if I can't find a machine, I decide to make them. So I've been working with the designer, designing the machines, building the machines exactly at my specifications, from the bearings to the handles to the length of the arms, etc., etc. Very happy with the outcome. These 2 machines are brilliant. The hip thrust is a bit big for short people, but I'm adjusting it. Yeah, I think definitely if you're a gym owner, or if you're thinking about becoming a gym owner, you need technical facilities, like faculty. Like, you need to be good with your hands and understand how things work. Because if not, you're going to pay someone every time to repair a machine, to do this, to do that, to build, to buy. It's just not worth it. As an independent gym owner, the budget that you have is going to be restricted, and you need to make some choice. And yeah, a lot of the work I've done myself just because it was cheaper.
Out of curiosity, how much are them machines compared, like, to make from scratch, compared to like going and sourcing like WHAM?
Okay, so to break it down, the idea with the row was I really wanted the Flex Fitness plate loaded row, which is so extremely rare that you'll probably have to, like the leg extension that I got, I probably have to go to America, find it, buy it, ship it, etc., etc. Building a machine, the reality of things is it's going to cost you a lot of time, but money-wise, it's not extremely far off from a brand new machine that I would buy from Hammer Strength or Atlantis or whatever. It's in the same price range. It's just a lot more work and time to build it, to make what you want out of it.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything, like, just from looking at the footage of it, I haven't seen like a row with that sort of lever system, so I'm very interested to try it.
So yeah, the whole idea behind it was I like prime plate loaded machines, and I really like training on them, and I think gyms that have them is awesome. Although, as a gym owner, I can also see that in any gym at any given time, maybe in Ultraflex or gyms like that, it's a bit higher, but in a let's say a basic bodybuilding gym, let's say 20% maximum of people will actually understand how to work the machine, the prime plate loaded machine, so that, yeah, there's those 3 horns to put plates, but if you don't understand how to do it, it just doesn't matter. So the idea with these machines that I built was a lever system where the further out you are, the more drop you get. Whatever machine it is, the further you are from the point of action, so from the lever system, the more drop you get. And it works perfectly. It's one horn. You don't need to put your blades anywhere else. And you know, people can understand how it works quite easily, but also if you're more advanced, and you want to be able to modify the strength curve of the machine. Let's say you're doing the machine as a first exercise, you want it to be a little bit harder on the shorten, but as a last exercise, you want it to be a bit easier in the shorten. This machine will allow you to do that. And now you see people using it and they're like, yeah, first set I'm on, you know, pad number 1, and second set I'm on pad number 5 because and it's awesome to hear people just clicking and understanding, and even non-bodybuilders, they just try them and they're like, yeah, I feel difference. It just feels good. It feels different. I always say machines like matrix machines or machines you'll find in commercial gyms, you have to adapt to the machine. Whatever the machines I've got in my gyms adapt to you, and it's such a difference. Yeah.
Because with like a matrix machine, if you don't adapt to that machine, it's just going to break you eventually.
It's built differently. I mean, I guess
they're built to survive people using them for thousands and thousands of hours and have no issues with the machine whatsoever. But that also means that they're not particularly good machines to use, where you've got all like the Nautilus Rose, for example, where they've got these big fuck off trailing arms. So you can go like this, you can go like that, you can move up, you can move down, and it's absolutely fine because it still moves in the path that you want it to. And it's like so easily adaptable. You can do so much with each bit.
No, it's true. I think new school machines, and I say new school machines because all the new generations of machines, like even Cybex, Life Fitness, they're built more like, I want to say nearly like washing machines. It's like one line, they're all the same. They're basic machines, one size fit all. And the truth is, it never does. Like you'll find a new age shoulder press plate loaded VR3 Cybex. You might fit on it, I might not fit on it. And they're made just thinner and different. I don't know. There's something about these old school machines that were built by bodybuilders for bodybuilders. And you go on it and it just feels different. It feels there's a heritage that comes with it. And the dream was, there's a lot of gyms with some good kit and they have, I really like this chest press, but I don't like this leg press. I really like this. I wanted a gym where people come and they're like, he's got everything for every movement everyone wants. We've got 15 rows. They're all different rows. We've got 11 arms machines. They're all different arms machines. If you don't fit on one, try the other one. It will fit. I keep everything in top condition. Like you say, they're more fragile. They're machines that are made a bit differently and they need a bit more work. So got a toolbox running around all day.
And you've got members who aren't just going to slam it down as hard as physically possible.
Yeah,
if you
like a lot of those like
sorry, Jack, carry on.
I was just going to say, like, this happens in my gym a lot, where someone goes onto the leg extension, has no care for the machine at all, slams it, snaps the cable, and has no idea of the value of that machine. And it's like, if you just looked up this machine and showed them the price, they'd be like, oh, okay. And and I think as well, like I was going to say, a lot of commercial gyms, when you look at the gym equipment, how many of them have like one thing that's adjustable, maybe nothing that's adjustable? And it's like, I'm meant to fit this machine and you've given me one way that I can adjust the seat or the height that I'm at. And it's just, that's just not going to work.
Yeah, because even like you and me, Nathaniel, we're fairly similar heights, but we fit into things differently. And then you add into the equation, you've got somebody who's 6 foot plus. Like, how are they supposed to be able to use the same machine?
Yeah, 100%.
It's not going to happen.
100%.
Jamie Joe fitted into the same one as you, Luke.
Yeah. You said he was going to come to the gym, didn't you? You said that to me the other week, Jamie.
Sorry?
The other week when I was at the gym, you were like, "Oh, Jamie's gonna come," as in Jamie the Giant.
Jamie. Oh, Jamie. Yes. Oh my God. Sorry. Yes.
Yeah, that's
I
what
felt
Jack
so
was going on
special.
about.
He private DM'd me on my Instagram. I was like, what? It's yeah. There's we had a few people message like that. Hostile supplements. What's his name? Samson Dowda. Yeah, he's got like a few teammates on the UK that already been to the gym. It's incredible. Like I sometimes I just can't believe that. It's just, they're normal people, but you look up to them. And like, if you're really into bodybuilding, this is the pro. This is the people we look at. And to have people come in the gym or message me and send some really, good comments and it's just, it feels awesome. It just really feels awesome.
You need Cooper and AJ and to steal the Ultraflex family, and then you've got the market cornered.
I'm not. Yeah, AJ came in the gym. AJ and Loz were there a couple of weeks ago, and they filmed for Natural Bodybuilding, their website. And I think everyone that comes has the same reaction. Is just it feels like home. People like it. It's different than other gyms. And I think people don't realize it as much until they're in the gym.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if you had to pick one brand of machine, what would it be? You could only get one.
I'll tell you what. I'll answer the question, but I don't like that question because I've learned over the years that it's not about brand, it's about the machine from that brand. I'll give you an example. Nautilus is probably my favorite brand. Okay, I love Nautilus machines, old school, new school, not the last generation. I'm not a fan since they've been bought by, I can't remember the name of the other company, but it's not Nautilus anymore. The Nautilus Nitro Star Trek. Yes, thank you.
Yeah, I've got that kit. Oh my God, it's horrific.
And now they've got those plate loading machines that are called Nautilus, but you try them and it's just like they've lost it. They've lost what they had to make those. But yeah, to give an example, the Nautilus Nitro Low Row pin loading and plate loading, they have an Ultraflex. I think they've got the fake version, whatever it's called.
Gym shop.
No comment on that. But for example, that Nautilus Row, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. And it's I don't know, there's not enough stability. There's a pad for your chest that's missing. I don't really like how the arms are so long that if you're doing single arm, the other one's going to be in the way. So again, that's why, I didn't put it in the gym because I don't really like it. So as a general, Nautilus, Cybex are the two big brands that I really like. But again, it's not only about the brand, it's about the machine. It's about the specific kit that you want. And, there's a lot of gyms that'll be like, oh, we've got 10 new Panata machines, or, oh, we've got 10 new Cybex machines coming. And then you look at the kit and it's like, yeah, but you got a standing calf. You got a seated calf raise from Panata. Like you spend $3,000 on a calf raise when you could have got, old school Gym 80 for 50 quid and it does the same job. And it's kit.
Some of the old Gym 80 stuff is really good.
Yeah, that Future, the Gym 80 stuff.
Yeah, I think in Future you've got the T-bar row.
We've got a bunch of Gym 80 stuff. Seated leg curl, lion leg curl. What else have we got? They've got the.
Is that the ones with the top pad that moves?
Yes.
Yeah. So for example, Gym 80, I'm a fan. I love old school Gym 80, not the new school thing, but the old school Gym 80 I love. That's what I've got in the gym. But then you look at some old school Gym 80, like those like that seated hamstring curl. Personally, the fact that the top pad moves is incomprehensible. I don't understand it and I don't like it. So again, it's not only about brand, it's about what you feel the kit, the specific kit is worth and feels like.
Yeah, like the Nautilus leg curl is another good example because I believe that's the one that's got the pad that's below the knee. And it's like, okay, great. It's checking the motion of you being like shoved forward. But what about the first half of the rep where you're trying to be shoved
100%. It's a perfect example. That seated leg curl. It's probably one of the leg curls that you'll find most for sale in the UK, between gym owners at least, because we all understand that no one likes it. It's like, it's one of the machines, like, you know, the history of Nautilus, and you know how good they are at making other things, and they skip the fact that you need a pad at the top. It's like,
Yeah.
so yeah, it's sometimes you make mistakes. I've made a lot of mistakes buying kit that I thought was going to be really good, and I use it, I put it in the gym, I don't like it, I resell it. And I think that's why it took me that many years to hoard all the kit that I've got, because it's a process. It's like testing, trying, I don't like it, I'll keep it, I don't, etc.
I was about to ask.
Sorry, Dan.
If there's a bit of kit you don't particularly like in the gym, you just kind of answered that you resell it. But I'm going to ask, is there any like bit of kit which is like a guilty pleasure bit where you might have paid a bit too much, but you couldn't like resist having it in the gym? You're like, I need to have that in the gym. And
Yeah.
which bits?
We were very fortunate enough I was very fortunate enough to have a good relationship with Star Trek, which are now the only company in the UK where you can get Nautilus machines. And because I rebuild my machines myself, I buy a lot of spare parts. So I've been, harassing them for some old school spare parts that most of the time they never have in stock. But they knew our gym, they knew what I have, they knew the kit I have, and they offered me some two machines, which are the Nautilus Nitro mid-row and the Nautilus Nitro lat pull down, which are probably the two back machines that are Nautilus-wise the rarest. Maybe the pullover Gen 1 that we have is a bit rarer, but they're very hard to find. And not only they're very hard to find, they haven't been produced in about 10 years. And to find one brand
Evolution, like series ones that we've got there.
You know the lat pull down, the D-handle lat pull down, and the one right next to it, which is both Nitro D-handle pull downs. I bought those brand new, and I found them. I didn't find them brand new, but Nautilus messaged us, and basically they were like, "We've got 10 Nautilus Nitro machines, brand new. They were ordered 15 years ago. They've been 15 years in our storage. We don't have a use for them. We'll give you a special price, and you can get them." These are the only two machines that I nearly paid full price, not because it was the only way. It was like, you're offering me a machine that I know I'll never find again. So if I have to put, a few £1,000s on it, I'll put a few £1,000s on it. Most of the gym, I made some very good deals. And, talking to other independent gym owners and their budget for the kit, I've actually done really well for myself. But yeah, there's always a few machines that if you're really into something's going to come up and you'll be like, I don't need it, I don't have the money for it, but I'm going to buy it.
Yeah. What piece of equipment have you been most satisfied with finding and buying?
The Cybex Mach 1 hack squat. Now, finding that it took me 4 years to find it. Wow. I drove all the way to south of France to go get it. It was a 5-day trip, 2-day there, 3-day back, because I couldn't go more than 45, 50 on the motorway. Incredibly hard to find. Everyone's looking for it. It's like the GOAT of all hack squats. I'm sure you all agree. Finding that piece and getting it in the gym was one of the highlights. And then a few years later, to be able to match it with the 45-degree and the pivot. So we've got the 3 old school Cybex presses in the gym. It's a dream come true. There's not a lot of gyms in Europe that have the 3. I think less than 10 gyms in the whole of Europe have the 3 together. I think those 3 are the ones that touched my heart as the most.
I can't quite put my finger on it, but like the Mark 1, just like the Mark 1 Cybex just seems to feel better than like the Mark 2 stuff. Even the Smith machine, I prefer the Mark 1 Smith as well.
So most of the time people say that, and I think it's mostly because Cybex is now owned by Life Fitness, which also owns Hammer Strength and a few other brands, and Life Fitness makes those machines for Cybex now. So it's Life Fitness bearings, it's Life Fitness background. They just feel different. I mean, I changed the bearings on mine when I got it, and I had to import the bearings from America because Life Fitness can't have them here. And yeah, it's smooth as butter. It's one of the smoothest Mark 1 hack squat that I've tried. Very, very happy with it.
Fair play. Yep. I was going to say with those two like Nautilus pieces, they're really cool because the weight stack is like, rather than just having like big chunks and then like adjustable ones, it's literally, it goes down in 5 pound increments.
Yeah. And you've got the 2 right, left, right, left, right, left. Yeah.
I've never seen
those kit are just made different. And I think it's a history thing. Like if you look at Nautilus in the 60s, 70s, 80s, you look at the Gen 1 chest press that we have, or the Gen 1 pullover, the amount of work and engineering that went into those machines, not only so that they connect to the strength curve of your muscle and like what your muscle needs, but also just like the extra details and the build quality, the fact that they always added a extra pad so that you could have more range of motion. It's just things like that make a huge difference.
Yeah, they just knew like what was going on and what people actually needed. Whereas you look at the Matrix stuff and it's like, oh, what shape is the cam? Oh, it's just a circle. Like, it just needs to be a circle. It's fine.
Yeah.
No consideration whatsoever.
I agree. It's like I said, I think if you look at the history of those brands, it was bodybuilders building machines for other bodybuilders, and they understood the concept. And now it's not like that anymore, and it's a shame. I think the new generation, which is more, like I said, scientifically based training, we are bringing back those kind of kit in gyms and bringing back to popularity, and you can see it in most gyms that are now trying to get all the old school pieces. But what they don't know is
Atlantis is owned by like a former bodybuilder, isn't it?
Sorry?
I believe Atlantis is owned by a former bodybuilder.
Yeah. Atlantis is owned by a former bodybuilder. The Nautilus pullover was designed with what's his name? The Shadow.
Dorian Yates.
Dorian Yates helped a lot to build that, and there's loads of interviews where he says that his back was probably just because of that fucking pullover. So yeah, we had 3 pullovers in the gym. I sold one a couple of weeks ago, but yeah, it's just kit that's made differently, and the story behind each piece is awesome. And it's like, if I'm really geeky about it, but it's just something else. America were just a whole world in advance on us a few years ago. We're catching up, but we're not there yet.
I think that's a cool thing to think about like the stories behind each bit of kit as well, because we're not going to give much thought to that. But I suppose for you, like, especially like 4 years to find a hat, things like that, however long it takes to find it.
The traveling and meeting different people, and some people know exactly what they have, some people just want to get rid of what they have. It's a lot of stories, a lot of traveling, a lot of contacts made and friends made over the years. There's it's a niche market, but being geeky about your kit, there is a market for it in Europe, and we basically all know each other. It's good to be recognized. Like, even we get people commenting about the gym in America, and they see what we're trying to make here, and it feels good. It just feels good after so many years to be like, this is a gym where I can stay, we can grow here, we don't need to move anywhere. There's enough space for the kit ish. We might need to grow a little bit
unless you start hoarding again.
Unless I start hoarding again. So I'm slowing down a bit. I still have about 3 containers full of kit, which is not great, but
really,
What's in there?
What do I have left in stock? I've got a 45-degree Cybex leg press left. I had 2 of those. I have VR1 Cybex multi-row lat pull down, which you probably have no idea what it is, and you probably never saw, but it's an incredible machine, which I'm going to put in the gym. And then it's a lot of like extras. I think I've got 2 VR2 rows, like Cybex VR2 row. Every time I find something, I'll just buy it, and if I need it, I need it. If I don't need it, it stays there. I'll resell it. It's a full-time job.
Fair enough.
I've noticed you don't have a pendulum at the coach, do you? Unless I'm
Oh,
wrong.
we do not have a pendulum.
Is there plans for that? Because I think a lot of people rate that quite highly, don't they? Or
so the whole idea, and Luke is smiling, the whole idea, I was trying to get the pendulum, the Paramount Generation 1 pendulum that you guys have in
Future
Fitness.
Message Kev, I'm sure he'll sell it to you.
I tried, and he does not want to sell it.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah,
Really?
no, I tried. There's only 2 in the UK that I know of. He's got one. The other one, I can't remember the name of the dude in another gym, but he will not sell it either. I found one in America, got shipped. It arrived in Northern Ireland, and when they pulled it out of the container, they bent it. It was 4 months of waiting between buying it and getting it, and pulling out the container. The other side of the pendulum got attached on a piece of the container. They pulled it, and the whole subframe, the whole frame, like the frame where you're on, got bent. So unfortunately, I got my refund, and I didn't get the machine. But that was 4, 5, 6 years of looking for one. So it's one of those things where you're like, sometimes you're super lucky and find something. Sometimes you're not lucky, and either you need to pay full price or import it, or just wait and see what comes up.
Have you got your eye on another one for like in the meantime?
Yes, I do. I don't want to say it here yet, but I'm super. You know what? I think it's the fact that I'm one of those new generation of gym owners. I'm very open to change, and like I said, I've got those 3 containers full of kit, and if someone doesn't like a machine, and a lot of people are like, we could switch this up, so I'm super happy to change things up for everyone. So I always try to make the gym better and to have everything that everyone needs. If you come in my gym and there's something missing that we don't have, most of the time I'll go out and buy it the same day, whereas it's a cable attachment or a belt on a machine, or it's little things like that make a big difference.
Yeah, for sure.
yeah, I think that what
You carrying on?
am I speaking, or are you speaking, Luke? Yeah.
I was going to say, what would you say sort of like the biggest challenge you had trying to like open the gym or source the kit was?
The biggest challenge, financially, I think I've made the right decision to stop buying the kit so in advance. It wasn't just financially, but it was also because I knew I wasn't. If you wait till the last minute, and you've got your building and you don't have the kit yet, if you only have 6 months to find kit, you won't find the kit. You just won't. Not the type of kit that we have. If you want to go out and buy all Watson gym, you can. Like, Watson will be super happy. They'll paint it the color you want. They'll put your name on the embroidery of the pads, but then you'll try the machine and you'll break your knees. Rule number 1 in my gym was absolutely no Watson in my gym, and they've tried to sell me stuff. I swear, they messaged me and tried to sell me stuff, and I just don't want to. It's just I'm very, very, very picky. And yeah, the most challenging part was finding the kit. Was actually just like, I think for about 8 years, I still have them on my computer. I've got about 155 saved searches. And every day I go through them. Every half an hour I go through them, and it's time consuming. But at the same time, now that I've opened a Coach V2, I know that whatever people try, and whoever's trying in the UK to open something like I have, it's just not feasible, because you can't find the kit. It's just too rare. You might find some pieces here and there. But most gyms will do a bit like what Ultraflex did, where they've got a lot of very good kit that they probably handpicked or just picked a few from these brands. But then you look around, and the majority of kit is just quite basic kit that just fills up the space, which I think most gym will do. They'll buy basic stuff and then add on piece by piece some pieces that are a bit better. Starting up with all the pieces that everyone wants was a challenge, and finding it was a challenge, and running a smaller gym and at the same time trying to build a new gym and find the kit and move things around, and it was a lot of work. It's just finally good to finally be done with it.
You can finally relax and then you move house. Nice.
Finally relaxing. I'm taking my first week of holiday next week for the last 2-3 years, so that feels good. Finally training again. I can't wait to prep in my own gym. That's a big thing for me. It's like my first prep in my own gym. Yeah, loving it.
I was gonna say, just back to the equipment stuff for a second. Have you ever had anyone try to buy the equipment that you've got off you?
Oh, every day. Oh, all day, every day. All day. I got 6 messages today from 6 different people asking me if I wanted to sell something in my gym. All day, every day. And big names in the UK, big UK bodybuilders that have tried to get kit from me. The problem is that it's a lot of money, but at the same time, without the kit, Le Coach doesn't exist. Like, Le Coach is there because this kit is in there. If the kit wasn't in there, people wouldn't travel so many hours to come. So yeah, I get messages literally every day, not only from the UK, from literally all over Europe, people just wanting to buy the kit off me. How I see it is, it's this kind of kit is a bit like classic cars, and they go up in value every year, and I think they're not going to stop going up in value now. So yeah, it's harder and harder to find. It's more and more expensive to buy. It's a big challenge.
Yeah, and the sort of like imitation versions of it just don't quite hit the mark. Like I saw an imitation of a Norless Nitro chest press, and they got it like all pretty right, and then right at the end, instead of having the handles like this, they were like that. Like, why would you do that? Like,
and I think and yeah, bringing that topic up. No shot fights to any other gyms in the UK, but I think as an independent gym owner, that puts a lot of work, and I pride myself, to find these kit and get them in. Sorry, someone's calling on me at the same time.
Don't worry, man.
Okay. I think independent gym owners should, team up a bit more, and kit wise, I think it's important that we try and not buy fake kit or like made in China or the whole part of finding these machines is what gym owners should spend time to, rather than like, okay, we need a new chest press, so I'm just going to go out and buy a new chest press. Do some research, go and try other gym and go and try other chest presses and see what works for you, and then don't buy a fake one, buy the real one. Even if it's a bit more searching, or if it's a bit more money, it's worth it. And seeing big gyms up north that have fake Nautilus is not for me. Sorry. Very nice gyms, very, very nice gyms, but yeah, I'm not putting fake kit in my place.
You wouldn't sell them your kit, so they had to.
You know what? They know that I've got all the kit in the containers. They all know that I'm holding all the Cybex and Nautilus kit in the UK.
Wait for the price to go up.
No, just waiting for the price to go up. Yeah.
Sell it by the container. Just make a lot.
By the kilo. Nautilus machines by the kilo.
Sell it in parts, mate. Bit by bit.
I think there's a big problem with that fake kit. I think it was Ultimate Fitness. I remember there was a big argument maybe a year back or something about people getting sold fake kit. And like, when you get it, it's blatantly obvious it's fake. Like, it feels horrific. Like, not
only it's obvious, but then for the gym owner, whoever bought it, to say it's a Nautilus when everyone can see it's not, I think that's what really triggers me, because I spent so many fucking hours looking for this chest press and this, and you went the easy way and got a fake one, put a sticker on it, and said it was Nautilus. It's not. It's not made the same. It's not the same quality. It's not the same movement. It's a replica. It's a good replica, but it's still not the same.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it's not about the
you can
visual.
feel
it's
the
about
difference.
feel.
You can tell what a good machine feels like once you use it. Like you get on a piece of Matrix equipment and you're like, everything hurts. Like, I'm not even training this joint. Why does this joint hurt?
Yeah.
I think when you get exposed to good kit for the first time, you notice how bad kit is. Like if you're milling along a pure gym your whole time, you don't know what good kit is. You're probably pretty sound. You go
You're
and
right.
train
Yeah,
a
yeah,
bodybuilding gym, and you're like, oh my god, Matrix is a pile of shit.
You're right. And I get more and more Gen Pop that leave commercial gyms a bit like, you know, the gym and Pure Gym, and they try the kit in my gym, a couple sessions, they go back in their gym, and they come back and they're like, I'm not a bodybuilder. I don't understand why, but yeah, it does feel better, and it really does. It's just yeah, the machines fit with you rather than you have to fiddle away to try and fit in the machine.
Well,
Yeah, I think
surely, you know, for those Gen Pop clients or Gen Pop people where, you know, they're not as experienced in the gym, they maybe don't have a better idea of what they're doing, making sure that the kit doesn't hurt them is going to be more important. Like the main thing that most people find with bad kit is just that it hurts or it doesn't feel right. So if you're giving bad kit to people who are most likely to get injured because they've got the least knowledge, then, you know, I'm not surprised people go into the coach, because they can just kind of get on the machine, sort of intuitively set it up for them, and then be like, wow, this feels great.
Yeah, no, I agree. And then again, the whole idea of the coach was to give options. And if you don't fit on this row, well, try the next one. And if you don't fit on this one, try the next one. If you want an upper back row, this is the one. If you want a low back, and there's so many options. And I really much prefer having 10 rows for the price of one prime plate loaded row. Like it just makes it different.
Yeah,
I hadn't thought about it that way round until, like, I think we spoke, it would have been like December time that we spoke about that. And I was like, are there any plans to get prime stuff? And thinking about it that way, it makes so much more sense, because you've got more machines and you've got machines that can do those sort of things because you've got different options.
And people understand it. Like people go on the VR2 row and they're like, okay, that feels a lot better on my lower lat. And then they go on the Polaris row and they're like, okay, this is an upper back row. And you don't need the same machine. And, you know, it's more intuitive. People come in and they're like, this is for that, this is for this, this is for that. And if it feels it, you work on them and it feels different. And you feel like each different chest presses and each different row and each just hit differently. Even for Gen Pop.
Either.
Do you think that, and I've heard a few people kind of saying this, that Prime's great and it's versatile, but it's kind of mainly just a gimmick? Would you agree with that? Or would you say that it is still good kit at the heart of it?
I think it's good kit at the heart of it. Prime, which is ex-Strive. Strive was the original brand. They've been around for a long time. And the concept of what they have has been around for a long time. It's just coming back because we are in a new scientifically based era. It's not something new. It was there for a long time. And I like the idea. Like the concept is very good. It's like one machine and you can put the weight wherever you want in the movement. It's the concept is awesome. But then to educate people, for them to understand how to work it out, that's where the problem is. And I think the industry, at least in the UK, the fitness industry, not the bodybuilding industry, but the fitness industry is not educated enough to understand how these machines work. So I very quickly made the choice that, you know, a plate loaded prime row is $6,000. It's not small money. For $6,000, if you can get 6 rows, go and get 6 rows. They're all different. It's just, it's not a gimmick. It works. The concept works. But in terms of stability, in terms of what you can do with the different machines, having more machines rather than one machine always.
I think you're right that, you know, the fitness industry itself doesn't really lack the knowledge. Because I was thinking while you were talking, I was like, okay, I guess a resistance profile and a strength profile wouldn't take too long to explain. But if we're talking about kind of the Gen Pop fitness industry, that's an entirely different ball game. Like, yeah, that's quite an advanced concept for a lot of people, especially people who were just like, I just, you know, I'm here to work my chest. Can give me a chest exercise.
Yeah, yeah.
I think it's easy to overcomplicate the loading.
Yeah.
To go and explain them, you know, if you put the weight there, you'll have more weight here, and then you put the weight there, you'll have more weight. They don't care. They just want to do a chest press.
Yeah.
And the reality of things is as much as I love bodybuilding, it's a niche market. Fitness is huge, but bodybuilding is a niche market. So eventually the money needs to come by the Gen Pop. You need Gen Pop in your gym, and they need to feel like this gym's made for them too. So yeah, it's very good to have, you know, Prime kit, but if my mom comes in the gym and she sees a Prime machine, she will not know what the hell it is. And they will, and she won't want to use it. Whereas if she comes and she's like, okay, this is a row, you can clearly see it's a row, you can clearly see it's a leg extension, and she uses it and it's fine. And even if she doesn't use it at the maximum capacity of this machine, if the setting was perfect, the setup was perfect, like we do, she can still feel it in the muscle that she's working out, and it's fine. Prime is nice. It's not a gimmick. It is a bit complicated, and I think it hits in a market that is very niche-y, and gyms like Ultraflex might be able to get that because they have this kind of people in the gym. But yeah, even if I had the kind of people in my gym, I still think I just wouldn't go for Prime. Yeah.
The pin loaded ones are probably a little bit more approachable.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
There's not so much that you've got to play around with, but even then, the demand is there for Prime stuff. People are waiting months, if not years, and putting deposits down on it beforehand.
Yeah,
I've seen
they're not doing too badly.
There's a gym near me that has like one pin loaded Prime kit, just one in the gym, and it is always just 3 dead in the middle. Whenever you walk up to it, people have just left it on. They know that setting does something, and they don't quite know what, and they know that in the middle is safe. So every single time you walk up to it, it's like bang in the middle.
Yeah, and now the bad news is that the Chinese have caught up, and now we not only have fake Nautilus, there's a lot of fake Prime coming.
Really?
A lot of fake Prime. And there's already a few brands in the UK where you can buy fake Prime. And you already know that a lot of gyms are going to buy them and put Prime sticker on it. But you can, like, if you're geeky, you can tell the difference. But again, it's like you say, it's one of those machines where most of the time you get in gym, you see the machine and all the plates are in the center and it just stays like that. And if there's 1 or 2 out of 50 that know how to use it, it's not worth having this machine.
The concern that I almost have with that is that it's optimized for adjustability in terms of the resistance profile, but it might be sacrificing something in terms of like making it a really good machine, if that makes sense. Like if they just had it set so it was one resistance profile like other machines are, if that makes sense. And obviously,
I mean, it's, if you think about it, it's a lot easier to make the machine because they don't have to think about the resistance profile. They give the option. So it's like, well, we're not going to think about that. We don't want to tell, like, you know, make the machine so that people work only this part of the muscle. We're going to give them the option and just build it. And it's a lot easier to build because it's 3 horns and you decide where you want to put the weight. If you look at, I don't know, the Nautilus Nitro row, mid row that we have, it's not like that. It's not like that. They thought about the whole pulley system so that it connects exactly, and the strength curve changes depending on the muscle use. It's very different. It's very different.
So I don't know if you boys have used
the pulleys, and it's so like weird. What were you going to say, John? Sorry.
I don't know if you've used the Prime pull down, the fixed handle position. The actual lengthened load peg doesn't actually. I don't know if because of the setting I have it on, because of my height and like my arm length, it doesn't actually do a lot. Like,
No,
for someone like me who's not necessarily a strong person, I can load 6 20-kilo plates on that last peg. I can go to town for like 15 reps, and I feel amazing. My ego strokes. like unbelievably, but it does nothing.
Yeah.
That's another thing that's just reminded me of, because it's rotating as well when you've got the plates in different positions. If you've got somebody that is like quote unquote ego lifting, I think that's going to be even more dangerous, because you haven't just got the component of it going up and down, you've got the component of it fucking spinning around in this direction.
Yeah.
That's also
I actually just I find
Dan.
prime plate loading kit is just, there's been a couple of good bits, but just in general, I actually think it just feels terrible. Like, I've used a few bits at Graftis when I used to train there. Like, the lying hamstring curl, I think is abysmal. Like, the leg extension compared to the pin loaded is like terrible. I'd rather just a standard hammer strength leg extension, like just something that like does the job. That's like you say, like one movement pattern. Then like, cause you just can't get the right job. I prefer like the idea of the row you got custom made, different ways you can have it, rather than like, oh, heavy in the length and heavy in the short, heavy in mid and length. Like,
Yeah, they're hard to progress as well, those prime kits, because sometimes it's like, you can go heavier, and then it's like now you're faced again with the decision of where does heavier go. And then you look at, like people who are fairly strong, they've maxed out the lengthen peg, and now they have to start changing the resistance profile. And it's like, okay, well, now I'm adding weight, and I'm also making it harder in a spot where it wasn't harder before. So now it's really hard for me to progress, and like it can become a bit of a mess, to be fair.
Oh yeah. No, it's true. It's for real. Like, machines with fixed weights, you know what to expect. It's always the same. And it's less faffing around. It's just like the weight is there and distributed this way, and it's going to be this way, and it's always going to be the same. And if you want to train another part of your body, of that muscle, just go on the row next to it, which is completely different. Yeah.
And we're obviously seeing like more and more stuff that at least full range of motion is going to be very good for hypertrophy, but potentially even some more length and bias work. So how useful is having stuff that's going to be like mid or short range taxing if length and bias stuff is quote unquote going to be better?
Yeah.
And also, I mean, depending on the atmosphere in your gym, say you've got a bunch of people doing like a pull day, and they start that off with a hinge. Are they going to be doing anything the shortened range anyway? Maybe everyone's already like, kind of following the classic, free weights at the start, machines at the end, always lengthened. And it's like, well, why have I now bought this expensive piece of prime kit that everyone's loading the same way? You just use a piece of kit that is going to load that anyway.
But it's prime. The name is there. People see it and they're like, oh, this gym has prime, so it must be good. And it's like, well, prime is good. It's just another way of building machines and another way of using machine that most people don't know how to use. So why would, like, I don't know. It's just, it's.
I guess it like fills a hole. Like if you've got a couple rows, your lengthened row is taken, and you want a lengthened row, you've got a row that covers that.
Yeah.
But even if you load the length and peg as much as possible, what happens with fatigue? It's still hard to get it short. But it just drops off enough so that you don't need a spot, and there's no way you'd be able to get another rep. So you're just taking out like the manual assistance that a finger spot could give you, and then you'd be
Oh yeah. What kit is on your radar currently? Are there, like, I know you mentioned the pendulum, but is there any other bits?
There's seated leg curl that I've been looking for 8 years. Since I've started buying kit, I've been wanting that seated leg curl. The Flex Fitness seated leg curl, which is also called the ham tractor. They call it ham tractor.
I think I've seen this one.
It's a seated leg curl, but it's super vertical. You're like, there's a handle to push to bring the upper pad down so that you can fit your feet over it. So we in the coach have the Flex Fitness leg extension and the Flex Fitness laying leg curl, but I've been trying to find the seated, which is one of those that it doesn't come up. It just doesn't come up, and the only way of getting it is shipping it and finding. It's the holy grail of seated leg curls is probably the Flex Fitness ham tractor. And yeah, if anyone watching this has one in the garage, just contact me.
You heard the man. Get in touch.
Yeah, like those are machines that have carefully considered how are we going to set up this resistance profile so that it's reasonably close to where we're at.
That exclusive.
Sorry?
Dan, what was that?
I didn't say anything.
Oh, I think that was the internet lagging then.
Okay.
That's all right.
Yeah, I was absolutely.
But yeah, like this, it's always, you look at machines like that and they built different. They're built different. They look different. They feel different. A simple example, like Nautilus putting belts on their machines 50 years ago. It's like, who in the hell actually understood that the belt was that good of a help on the movements? And even now you see new machines and it wouldn't cost them a lot to put a belt, and they don't. And it's more things like that in the end, if it makes your training 5% better every session, it's huge at the end of the year. It's huge after 10 years, and it makes a difference.
It does make me wonder how much of a difference does it make. Like, obviously a significant one, but like how different would someone's physique be if they actually train with exclusively Matrix, or say at the coach only for like 10 years, nailing everything else? Like, what would the difference in their physique be?
The coach is Adam Cole, so there you go. The coach has won.
You've got somebody that's willing to put the work in for 10 years. They've only got Matrix equipment. That's the only equipment they've got available. This is somebody who's going to be heavily invested in what they're doing. So I think they would be willing to learn about how to adjust that machine to suit them as best as possible. But like Nathaniel was saying, for the average person who's like doesn't know or doesn't really care to do that, like those machines are probably going to be better. Like this is going to be somebody who would happily bring yoga blocks to put on the hack squat so they can actually get decent range. Like they'll bring their own seatbelt and those sorts of things.
Yeah.
I feel like those little things do add up though, because like when I train at a gym with good kit, I just feel better. Like I just enjoy it more. I currently train at a gym with bad kicks. It's all I've got access to. It's not going to hold me back from training, but you know, would I be training a little bit harder? Would I be looking forward to my sessions a little bit more if I had like some really good kit? If I was like, oh yes, you know, I got the whatever I'm doing today. I'm on the Cybex Smith. I'm on the Cybex Hack Mark 1 today. Fantastic, cool. Like, can't wait to do that. You know, so
I think getting people excited for their session is something very important. We had Connor. What's his surname?
Is that Launder?
Callum's client.
Rensham.
Yeah, he trains with Lewis.
Yeah.
Connor and Lewis came at Le Coach a couple of days ago together, and Connor leaving said something very interesting. He said, I've been to a lot of gyms, and it's the first time in a very long time where I feel like I'm in a gym that I want to be training more. I want to be here and I want to push more. And I think that is what makes the difference. When you get in a gym where the kit is like this and fits you and you really like it, you're going to look forward to your session. And even the sessions where you don't want to be there are probably going to be some really good sessions. Like I said to everyone, even if it's a 5% difference per session, at the end of the year, it makes such a huge difference, such a huge difference. And again, it's also about longevity. And if you train 10 years on Matrix machines, your shoulders, your joints, everything's going to hurt. Like, it's just, it's different.
Yeah, completely agree. Completely agree. Matrix is not ideal for sure.
It's terrible.
What's your thoughts on that, John?
So I'm currently training at a gym that has all Matrix equipment, and I feel deep rage ever since joining. But it's a good gym with a good environment, and it's kind of the necessary change at the minute.
Yeah, sometimes you do just have to put up with it, you know, like myself and John. If we haven't got the option, then we just have to make the most of what we can.
Oh yeah.
You know, knowledgeable enough to make it fit us. But like I said before, like I think if and I feel it now a little bit. It's like I'm getting a bit sick of my gym, and like just having to deal with the equipment, having to take a bit more time to adjust things, to kind of groove them a little bit, to play around with things. Sometimes it feels good, sometimes it doesn't. Like knowing that you've got something to look forward to, some kit that you love that feels fantastic, you've got numbers for it, I think that really adds up. It's maybe it's not the actual difference in tension or loading from the machine, but just so your own kind of like excitement to use it, you know,
mentally to be in a good position and happy and, you know, positive to be there and wanting it is different. It's different.
Yeah, it's like if for your nutrition it was me cooking for you versus Gordon Ramsay, you know, like, and the macros were identical, you're gonna love it a lot more.
Yeah.
Like, if you got
Yeah.
someone who makes good food cooking for you, you know, it's the same thing. Like on
Yeah.
paper, it might be a minimal difference, but actually I'm a sick cook. I'd give you food poisoning any day.
Yeah, you get burnt tortilla chips and
You-
food poisoning.
Are you still blending the chicken?
If I can stomach it, sometimes, because the texture is a bit weird, sometimes it sets off my gag reflex. It's easier to eat.
Oh,
You ever reach that point, Nathan, where you're blending chicken to get it down? Yeah.
Oh no.
So yeah, for me it was blending chicken with broccoli and rice and a bit of hot water. And
Still
just
broccoli.
Oh,
broccoli, rice, chicken, hot water, blended up.
What were the ratios? Do you remember? Because I find it so, I've got a tiny little blender and I've got quite a lot of food to get in. So sometimes it's like it's dense, it's like concrete, and I have to just chuck it out. And I'm like, nah, I can't get that down.
Yeah, it's sometimes you just get it. You know, it's like end of grow season and you're like
Yeah,
5,000 plus calories. It just needs to get in.
I'm gonna be drinking cream of rice soon.
Nice.
I
Oh,
can't.
it's so awful to drink. It's just bitty.
No, you got to blend it. You have to blend it.
No, yeah, I have blended it. It's bitty.
Still,
Yeah, because it's just like grains,
Strange
isn't it? You can't get it any finer.
stand. If I could eat whey, I would 100% do that. Whey and cream of rice, and I just drink it 5 times a day. But lactose.
I'm not a fan
rest
of
in
cream of
peace,
rice.
your digestion.
Really.
Yeah, cream of rice never really did it for me. I've tried it a
Which
few
ones did
different
you try?
brands, and yeah, oats for me is just normal, basic, works, always sits well. Yeah.
Oh, lucky. They don't sit well for me. I wish they did. I love oats.
Yeah, I'm not a cream of rice fan. I don't rate
Really?
it that much. I think it tastes a bit too synthetic, like too like artificial.
How? Oh, this is the important question. How hungry were you when you were?
Yeah.
I've had it at both ends, like end of diet
Okay.
and like peak off season. It's like one of the things that I get the flavor in my head, and I'm like, oh, that's gonna be really good, and it's just never that good. Like whey is just it's just flavor. The flavor's always better than like
Cream of rice is a down bad food. Like that is a diet food. Let's be real. That is
It's
not.
quite
I had it
expensive as well.
twice a day with prep,
Oh,
and it was like I ruined it from there. I just couldn't have it anymore. What is good is either the rice flour or if you've seen rice flakes, because they're just
Rice
like
flakes.
not flavored. So it's
Yeah.
just like rice. It's like rice with the texture of oats.
On
Same
rice flakes, though, they're stupidly priced, though, aren't they?
Yeah, they're
like
crazy.
£5 for like 200 grams.
I'd order them from Amazon and get like 2 kilo or something like that for 12 quid, which weren't too bad. Wait, was it that much? I can't remember.
I don't think I've ever reached a point where like I'm still too stingy with it. I'd be like, I could get rice flakes, but I'd rather like have my cream of rice and save a bit of money. And also, if you are hungry and the synthetic flavor slows you down, perfect. If you're like, this is a little bit off-putting, perfect. You know, when you're at the tail end,
If you're hungry and it's too good, it's not good enough. Like it's too hard. Yeah.
When you reach that point in the diet where, if anyone here listening is like a casual or lifestyle client, you do not have to do this. This is us being unrealistic. But if you're at that point where you're so hungry in a diet, make your food less palatable and slower to eat, and you will feel more full. You will not enjoy the food, you'll feel more full.
Yeah.
I used to do that with making it really spicy.
Oh no!
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, just anything to slow yourself down. chugging like 2 liters of water while it's cooking, so that you're just like,
Yeah, I've done that one. I've done that one.
Yeah.
For me it was during prep, green vegetables. I used to make huge water-based soups with green veg. And I would just drink it I would put my chicken in it, blend it, and drink it up with like a liter of green soup. And it would just hold me on for like a few hours. It's not great, but yeah, you have to do what you gotta do.
Yeah, when you're that low, you'll do anything, honestly.
You're becoming nearly like a soup connoisseur, and you're like, oh, I've had enough of this and enough of that.
It's like
my housemate always says, if it doesn't taste nice, you're not hungry enough. Keep dieting.
Yeah, like it's like Kuba says, like true hunger is if someone put unflavored protein powder in front of you and you just went at it. That is true hunger.
That's true hunger.
Yeah, if you're not willing to do that, you're not hungry. Or like Stan Efferding says, if you're not craving protein, you're not actually hungry yet.
Yeah.
Oh my days.
That's not a good. Don't follow that if you're a lifestyle lifter, please. That's not. If you're a bodybuilder, that will save. If you want to enjoy your life and you don't want to be a bodybuilder, don't follow that advice.
Yeah, if you want a good relationship with food, don't follow that advice.
Yeah, bodybuilding is not the one for that.
Very true. Very true. Right, I reckon that's a good note to end it on, because I agree. Absolutely shattered. But thank you very much for your time. Really enjoyed all of the equipment talk and just nerding out. Is there anything you want to add? Where can people find you at? And
promote yourself.
Sorry.
Promote yourself, man.
Promote yourself. Thanks a lot for having me on the podcast. It's awesome to talk to like-minded people. You can check us out on Instagram, Le Coach Gym. We've got a website, lecoach.co.uk. We are based in North Cambridge, so pretty much in the middle of the country, more or less. 12,000 square feet, 180 machines. It's the place to be. Competitors or non-competitors, come and have a day pass, and got a nice little supplement shop at the entrance. And we now do pre-workout slushy, which I started to do, which is working really well. I'm really happy with that. So
that sounds so nice. Pre-workout slushy.
Pre-workout slushy.
You've got a microwave as well, haven't you? At a place you can cook your food.
I really want to try to, make people feel comfortable. So we've got a seating area, we've got fridge and microwave for people. We've got individual shower rooms, changing rooms, so you don't have to mix with other people if you don't want to. What else? I've got a plan to put a PlayStation on the TV in the sitting room. So it's like, I want this to not only be a gym, but be a somewhere where, it's social and people connect with other people and we all share the same passion. So even like you said, Luke, even if we're competitors on stage, in the gym, we're not. We're just brothers, sisters, and we just want to train together and have fun. And that's what the coach is about.
Amazing, man.
Yeah, that PlayStation idea kind of gives me like the a youth center where like everyone goes to like stay out of trouble, if you get me. It kind of gives me that kind of vibe, like community, even more community.
Yeah, I think
eat your pre-meal where you have a pre-workout slushy and play some PlayStation, and you go train.
Yeah, and I think this kind of atmosphere is a lot more available in America. Most big gyms in America have like a nice seating area and chill, and they've got loads of supplements, and you can stay there for an hour before even training, and it doesn't feel like anything. And we miss that a bit in England. We miss a little bit of that community. Let's talk to each other, spend time together, training, etc. Like, I don't know. I compare a lot to like Schwarzenegger in his times pumping iron, and you look at them and it's like a bunch of kids, just friends training together, and then in the afternoon going on the beach to suntan, and then go back in the gym all together, and then a few months later they're all on Mr. Olympia stage together, battling off. But they're brothers, and they're all. It's a community. I think it's important. And I think I think definitely the industry in the UK is going that way more and more, which is good for everyone.
Yeah, sound.
On that note, boys, I think I'm going to have to shoot. We're about to get back.
On that note, Luke is going to fall asleep.
I've got 2% of my phone, and we're literally about to get
Blue
back.
light blockers on, sleep mode is engaged. But yeah,
Right,
thank you very much.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, it's an interesting
look forward
podcast. I
to
like that.
seeing you in the summer.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, and don't hesitate if you have any questions, and hopefully see you all four in Le Coach.
Oh, absolutely, mate.
Yeah, soon, definitely.